More and more nations are deciding to sever ties with Israel, canceling contracts and banning anything going towards Israel, which means Israel is going to have a harder and harder time defending itself. Well, not defending itself. It's going to have a harder time committing genocide against people. And this is great because once enough nations stop working with Israel, they won't be able to do anything whatsoever because the Israeli government cannot support itself. It is wholly dependent upon other nations supplying it with weapons, money, and other goods in order to prop up their military and their government.
Institutions around the world are cutting ties with Israel-linked companies in sectors spanning spyware, finance, academia, and defense tech, with even arms deals cut short. Amid Tel Aviv's genocidal war on Palestine's Gaza, it's estimated that Tel Aviv has already lost well over $100 billion in revenue. Here's a look at some of the losses. In the most recent incident, Italy terminated its contract with Israeli spyware company Paragon Solutions on June 9th, after the company used surveillance technology to hack government critics, journalists, and civil society members across the European country. Another is
Wow, the Israeli government is supposed to be allies with some of these nations and they're spying on said nations. That sounds like what an enemy would actually be doing.
Israeli firm NSO Group, which developed the notorious Pegasus spyware used to extract private data through WhatsApp, has been banned in countries like Spain, Belgium, and Canada. Spain's defense ministry suspended an Israeli missile manufacturing license, which would have allowed a local company to develop the missiles, canceling an estimated $325 million contract for the development of 168 Spike LR2 anti-tank systems. This move came just 6 weeks after Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez ordered the cancellation of a separate deal for more than 15 million Israeli-made bullets. Several countries, including Canada, Belgium, the Netherlands, Spain, Australia, the UK, and Colombia, have terminated or suspended military exports to Israel amid concerns over Israel committing war crimes and violating human rights in Gaza. Elbit Systems, known for producing drones, weapons, and gathering intelligence for the Israeli army, is also losing global partnerships. In November 2023, Australia's RMIT University ended its partnership with Elbit Systems. In 2024, Brazil scrapped an arms deal over Israel's war on Gaza, while Japan's Itochu Corporation canceled its aviation partnership. In April,
I just love hearing all these nations going against Israel. It's just time that everybody just stopped working with Israel because all they're doing is, yeah, committing genocide and violating human rights. And no nation should be working with a nation violating human rights if they have any kind of morals. And being that, the Zionists claim that, they're God's chosen, they should be able to just ask their God for all the stuff that they need, and He should provide for them, being that, they're God's chosen. They're the most special, and God should be taking care of them. It shouldn't be other nations taking care of God's chosen people.
2025, MIT cut ties with Elbit following a 6-month student-led campaign. Norway's sovereign wealth fund divested from several Israeli firms, including telecom and energy companies, operating in occupied Palestinian territories. Storebrand, another major Norwegian investor, sold a $24 million stake in US-based Palantir over concerns about violations of international law due to its support for Israel's military. Universities worldwide are also taking action. Trinity College Dublin pledged to cut all ties with Israel, citing ongoing violations of international and humanitarian law, while the University of Toronto Faculty Association voted to divest its pension fund from Israel-linked assets. At Cambridge University, students relaunched an encampment on June 2nd, demanding the university sever all investment ties with Israeli arms and defense firms. This is part of a wider, ongoing surge of campus activism across Europe and North America, where students are setting up encampments, protesting, and staging hunger strikes to compel their institutions to cut ties with Israel and its military suppliers.
The Israeli government is going to be screaming that all these nations not working or deciding to cancel contracts and stuff with Israel are anti-Semitic over it, when that's not even the case, because these nations have the right to not work with any nation that they choose to, for whatever reason that they want to. And in this case, it's because they're committing genocide, and people don't want to support the genocide.
Suspend exchange programs with Tel Aviv, and sever all institutional links. Cracks in Israel's global alliances are widening as more of the world distances itself from a country that is fast becoming a global pariah. Tel Aviv is becoming increasingly isolated as it runs out of global allies and business partners.
I mean, it's not like the Israeli government doesn't have any issue with actually killing people of that are considered their allies. Look at a lot of the world kitchen aid workers, where the Israeli government killed several Canadian people. They killed uh, diplomats. They've killed journalists and stuff like that. The Israeli government does not care about their allies, actually. The only thing they care about is if they can get people to bend to the will of the Israeli government.